Hey everybody, welcome to Ladybug Girl Show. Today I'm just kind of hanging out in my garden, watering, and yeah, the sun went down so it's nice and cool. It's been really hot in Western Washington. Normally it's not too hot, but when it gets in the high 80s, I don't know, it starts to feel really hot to us Washington folks. But yeah, so I know like Arizona has 90s and 100. I don't know, other places in the world. I'm sure you're used to a lot warmer temperatures, but here we're not used to the heat. So when the sun goes down, I come out and I water my garden. I just kind of want to give you a little peek of what I'm growing in the garden and how things are going. So let me kind of show you around. On the very left, I have my raspberries. My grapes are over there. My raspberries decide they want to marry my grapes, so they're, walking over so they can get married. Sounds crazy. Then I have my mint. Sure. The kids want to go in the pool. I got my calendula. I also have beans and I don't know what else. There's artichoke somewhere, but it looks a little wilted. You can tell it has been very hot and the plants need water. So that's what I'm working on. I got pineapple mint here, another bed of gooseberries and borage and calendula, and I don't know, I think there's some clover. And then I have a gooseberry on the right. That's the gooseberry. And then behind that is a fuyu persimmon, and my potatoes are in the barrel back there. I'll walk around and show you that. Show you my borage real quick. It is a gorgeous plant. If you're not growing, I highly recommend that you start growing it. It's easy to start from seed and it attracts bees. These little blue flowers are edible, and the leaves, although they are prickly, you can kind of see the prickles, they are edible. And when I eat them, I just take a leaf and I just roll it up and I eat it. So prickly but edible. I highly recommend it. And the flowers are edible too. You could freeze them and put them in ice. Let me see if I can grab one. See, little flower. Yum. Just wanted to show you my potatoes real quick. I actually have a tomato growing out of each one because I just added dirt, and then I thought there could be a tomato growing, so there you go. I'll harvest them before the first frost. We kind of have a concrete area, and I have a few little pots. I have a ton of strawberries that my friend gave me last year, and then I just started this new barrel and I put 4 tomatoes in it. Doesn't look like much now, but it will grow. And then I have my archway with my honeysuckle. Here's a better view of my archway. It is made up of 2 cattle panels. On the left there, it looks like weeds. It kind of is a weed, but I call it asters. It's a perennial aster, a purple flower that's gorgeous. And then I have my honeysuckle on the right, and then I'm starting to grow a new variety of grapes that do not contain seeds. I highly recommend growing grapes that don't contain seeds, because when you get used to, growing up your whole life with grapes without seeds, and then you eat the seeded grapes, it's kind of an adjustment learning to spit them out, but it's definitely edible too. Okay, and then I have a 3-bin compost system. This is not my main compost bin. I actually have 3 more bins, so it's kind of neglected, but I do throw what I can. This one has like chicken manure from the stall, and this one just has like grass clippings and branches. This is my attempt at a chicken-proof bed. It has probably, I want to say 24 tomatoes, which is quite a lot. There's a little chickens, so I think I'm doing a good job of keeping the chickens out because the plants look good. I also have I believe these are scarlet runner beans, but they might be the painted lady. Sometimes I get those two confused. But they're growing quite successfully. And the nice thing about this method of growing is it's safe from the chickens, yet the beans have something, you know, some wire to grow up, and when it gets too long, I just loop it back through. Works quite nice. And then in here, all my tomatoes are growing quite successfully. I grew sorrel from seed this year. It's a pretty healthy plant, and it kind of tastes like Sour Patch. The kids love sorrel, so it's a nice little snack for them. It's pretty good. It's a little sour, but you can pretend you're eating candy. I just chopped all my comfrey. You may have seen me do that in an old video, but it's growing back quite successfully. Good. You might be wondering, what is this? And it's asparagus, and it's growing quite nicely, huh? Doesn't look like the asparagus that you would buy in the store or eat, but if you leave it alone, it will grow into kind of like a fern tree looking thing and set seed. Down here I have a little lettuce, and then I have some more calendula. This next bed has a lot of tomatoes, and they're just starting to set fruit. Focus there. Lots and lots of tomatoes, and I love the smell. I love to brush up against them and smell that strong tomato scent. It's pretty cool. I believe this is parsley. Is it parsley? Well, one of those. It's flowering. Here's another beautiful tomato. Nice buy more. They're all over. There's the cute little flowers, and then after the tomato flowers, it makes cute little baby tomatoes. Very exciting. Here's my Cherokee tomatoes. Cute little tomatoes. They're everywhere. Little babies. Can't wait to eat them all and can them and make salsa and tomato sauce. It'll be awesome. I scored pretty big on tomatoes this year because my dad is growing commercially, and he had like 3 or 4 flats that I don't know how many tomatoes, but just massive, like thousands of tomatoes. And he's like, you know, I'm really busy trying to like get my greenhouse up and going and open for the year, and I'm just not gonna have time to transplant all these. And he was actually gonna throw them in the trash, and I was like, well, don't do that, I'll take them home. So I have been tomato rich this year. It's been so awesome. I guess I planted them out too soon. I've learned a lot. Like I put them in too rich of compost, and that kind of killed off some. But you know, when you have thousands of tomatoes, then killing off hundreds isn't as big of a deal. But you know, if I was growing commercially, that's a huge deal. So I mean, it's a nice way to learn what to do and what not to do, because you know, we're doing this as a hobby at this point in our lives. But you know, I'm learning so much. Like, you don't want too rich a compost, you know, and you don't want them too cold. I think earlier in the year it was just too cold outside, so maybe, you know, adding a little protection for them. I don't know, I'm taking notes and learning as I go, but it's really a fun adventure, and I don't know, I'm learning so much about growing tomatoes, and I can't wait to have a huge harvest. We'll definitely make videos when we harvest the tomatoes and can them and take you along on our journey. So stay tuned for that. The greatest invention ever, mint plus raspberries. Super yummy. So you just grab your raspberries, grab your mint, eat them all together. Mmm. Very good. Yum. Yeah, so in the evening we tend to water. Mike's actually mowing in the front and kind of taking care of some chores. Kind of gives me a chance to look at my plants, see how they're doing. If they need harvesting, then I can harvest some. And yeah, just doing the best I can to grow as much food as I possibly can. Show you real quick, this is my seeded grapes. That's a massive, massive, massive amount of grapes. And underneath it all are raspberries. Okay, after you walk through that little mess, my food forest, you get to the end and at the end, there is another raised bed, so let me show you what that looks like. And I have more tomatoes. Lots and lots of tomatoes. This is my little patio container, but I use it to grow squash, and it works out quite nicely. I just have to be good about watering it. Okay, this is my peas, and then in the back the red flowers are my beans, my runner beans. They're scarlet runner beans, like I said earlier. But these peas are actually starting to mature, so I can save them to use to grow for next year. Along the back here I have a row of blueberries. I have a chokeberry tree that's known as Rona berry. I also did a video on Rona berries if you're interested in learning more about them. They are considered a superfood. Oops, there you go. And you can use them probably in, like, freeze them and put them in smoothies or put them in oatmeal. The taste isn't phenomenal, but the nutritional value is. So you just have to figure out a way to get them down you and benefit from that superfood. We have gone 45 days without water or rain. So we've had to water our food forest and make sure the plants can do okay. I'm going ahead and watering all the fruit trees. I have 20 fruit trees and I have them spaced 10 feet apart. That's quite, you know, close proximity, but it works out because I was limited on space. Even though we live on 5 acres, only a certain part is devoted to my food forest. So that's kind of how it works when you have 4 generations coexisting. Everybody has their own areas, so it all works out. The Rona berry sends out quite a few little branches. We had to prune back some because it was just going wild and we didn't have a pathway to get by. About the Rona berry is you really don't have to water it very often, so I water it maybe once a month. Alright, I hope that gives you a little bit of a tour of my food forest. It's been a fun year growing and I can't wait to share more with you guys. And I don't know, leave me a comment if there's a particular video you would like to see. I know our channel's kind of a range of things, but we just try to share what we can when we can about our family, the girls, and our farm. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching this episode of Ladybug Girl Show. Bye!